June 2026. 25,000 farmers gathered in a field in Oxfordshire, not in Parliament, not in a conference hall. They came to Jeremy Clarkson's farm, Diddley Squat. The UK's biggest professional farming event, running for 50 years, moved to a TV presenter's farm for the first time ever. The government had no role in it. Westminster stayed mostly silent. But farmers everywhere kept asking the same thing. How did a man who made just £114 in his first year of farming become the center of British agriculture's biggest moment? This isn't only Clarkson's story. It's about what happens when the people in charge stop doing their job, and someone else quietly fills the gap. First, look at what the government was doing. In November 2024, Rachel Reeves scrapped the inheritance tax exemption that had protected family farms since 1992. Any farm valued above £1 million now faces a 20% tax bill on transfer. That sounds small in a speech, but 100 acres plus a few buildings is often enough to cross that line. This wasn't a tax on wealthy landowners. It was pressure on families who'd worked the same land for generations. The numbers were brutal. 1890 agricultural businesses closed in the first quarter of 2025 alone, while only 85 opened. The farming budget had barely moved since 2007. Input costs were forecast to be 30% higher in 2026 than in 2020. The department meant to support farmers scrapped the sustainable farming incentive without warning. No letter, no transition plan. Parliament's own committee later admitted that poor communication and late decisions had seriously damaged trust. In Whitehall's eyes, farming is just 0.6% of GDP, a rounding error. The people who feed 67 million people got reduced to a decimal point. That was the gap. Here's what filled it. The popular version of Clarkson's story is simple. A TV presenter bought a farm as a tax dodge, the shop is just merchandise, the beer is a vanity project, and it's all riding on Amazon money and celebrity fame. That's the easy explanation, and probably how most civil servants see it too. But the real numbers tell a different story. Clarkson bought Diddley Squat in 2008. 1,000 acres of tough Cotswold land that gives up nothing easily. For over a decade, he worked it quietly with a farm manager, long before any cameras arrived. The show only started in 2021. It didn't create the farm's struggles. It just put a camera on a reality every British farmer already knew. Low margins, high pressure, and a government that never made agriculture a priority. The $114 figure wasn't a joke. It was the real financial outcome of arable farming on difficult land, and Clarkson said so plainly, on camera and in print. That honesty is exactly why farmers trusted him. He wasn't performing, he was finally saying what they'd been saying for years. From there, things built layer by layer. The farm shop opened and immediately ran into planning fights, parking disputes, and council pushback. And ironically, every attempt to shut it down generated free publicity instead. Then came the beer. The barley grown on the farm wasn't earning a fair price, so Clarkson turned it into a product of his own, Hawkstone. The logic was simple. If the system underpays you, build your own system. Then came the pub, giving the brand a home and giving people a reason to keep returning. From the outside, it looked chaotic. From the inside, it was a closed loop. Field to shop, field to glass, field to pub, cutting out the middlemen who take the most and give back the least. And it worked. Hawkstone sales hit $7.8 million by March 2024, then jumped to $21.3 million by March 2025, described as Britain's fastest-growing beer brand. It's now sold in roughly 2,000 pubs, trialed by Young's in 30 venues, and stocked in Waitrose, Morrison's, Sainsbury's, Asda, and Majestic Wine. Clarkson has openly said he wants to push Peroni out of the market. This isn't a hobby brand. Its real strength is authenticity that took years to build. Every planning fight made the farm feel more real. Every hard harvest shown on camera made the story more believable. A big drinks company can't manufacture that kind of credibility, and no government department can either, because that would mean admitting its own failures. The pressure never stopped, though. Local councils kept pushing back on the shop and the pub, and the biggest threat remained the same: the April 2026 inheritance tax deadline. Even after the government raised the threshold from £1 million to $2.5 million, Clarkson pointed out publicly that plenty of farmers would still be hit. The problem wasn't solved, just adjusted. If enough farms keep closing, Hawkstone's own supply of British barley comes under threat too. That's the fragile point in this whole story. But the critics never understood one thing. Every council refusal and every planning battle just generated more press and pulled more visitors